Hey friends, okay, so today's video I'm gonna be talking about Ash Wednesday and Lent for beginners. Like, what is Ash Wednesday and why do we do it? And what is Lent and what do we do during Lent and why do we do it? So first of all, Ash Wednesday is the start of Lent. So that is the very first day of Lent. And during that time, a lot of people go to church and they get the ashes. You'll see the ashes on their forehead for Ash Wednesday. It is not a holy day of obligation, but it is highly encouraged and it is a wonderful way to begin the Lent season. So I highly recommend going to Ash Wednesday. Pretty much they get the ashes from Palm Sunday and they burn them and then they put them on our forehead. So he'll put a cross on your forehead and he'll say, remember you are dust and unto dust you shall return. And so that's just a reminder that we are all going to die someday and that we need to reflect on that, and that really truly, like, that's the only thing that matters, is our eternal soul. So the ashes are to remind us that this is a time of penance, a time to reflect, a time to kind of have less of us and more of God. And so that is why we put ashes on, is to remind us that this next 40 days we are kind of walking with Jesus. Like Jesus was out in the desert for 40 days. We're kind of on that journey with him. So that's a little bit about Ash Wednesday. And another thing about Ash Wednesday is it is one of 2 days of fasting the entire year. And fasting in the Catholic Church is considered one small breakfast, one small lunch, and then a regular sized dinner and no snacks in between. Obviously, if you have health issues or you're pregnant or something like that, that's different, but that is a precept of the Catholic Church. So if you are a Catholic, then that is something that we need to do. And also no meat. So that's the other thing. So it's a meatless day, as well as every Friday during Lent and during the entire year. So next is Lent. So for Lent, it's the Ash Wednesday it starts and it goes all the way until Easter Sunday. And so if you count that up, it's actually 46 days, because usually Sundays are not really a part of Lent, because on Sundays, it's kind of like a mini Easter. Like, we're always celebrating on Sundays that Jesus rose from the dead. So so that's why if you actually were to count out, it actually is 46 days, but that's why. Anyway, so we're kind of walking in the desert with Jesus. And so you'll hear people say that, you know, for Lent, I'm giving up, you know, goldfish or chocolate or whatever. And so there are some other things that are recommended, and so I actually have a little PDF on my website. I'll link it down below. So the first thing is, it says, each day I will pray. And so what are you going to pray? What extra thing are you going to pray for Lent? So some people will do like a Divine Mercy chaplet every day. Some people will dive into scripture. Some people have a devotional or the rosary. So what are you going to do extra to get closer to God is pretty much what that means. A lot of people fast, so you'll hear people say, I'm giving up, you know, chocolate for Lent this year, or all sweets, or social media, or whatever it is. So that's the other thing, is what are you going to fast from? Something that you enjoy, that you can give up, and that actually is kind of you walking with Christ. So these little mortifications actually are really good in the spiritual life. And so so fasting is one way to do that. So the other thing is almsgiving. So my good works will be like, what are you gonna do extra? So you could give money to the poor. It could be corporal works of mercy. You could go serve the poor. You could help your neighbor who needs meals, who has 12 kids, and you would just like to do something nice for them. Little things like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be money, but it can just be something that you're helping, you're giving of yourself. So, so those are the 3 ways that you can kind of dive deeper into Lent. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that you all have an amazing Lent, and until next time, I will see you all later. God bless. Bye.